Get your mass and umbrellas at the ballpark today. First 20,000 fans will. It's the Giants and the Nats. They need those umbrellas for some serious sunshine today. Giants 0-4 against the East. The Nats are above 500 at home, trying to get back to 500 overall today. Bob and FP. First of all, some sobering news. It looks like 6 weeks for Ryan Zimmerman with that abdominal muscle. He's going to have some surgery on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's not good news for the Nationals, obviously. But, you know, Alex Cora's been doing a good job. Jerry Harrison Jr.'s been doing a good job. But there's nobody that can replace that guy.
And more on Zimmerman later. Let's talk pitching. Levon, unbelievable 2 nights ago. And then if you can be even better than that, Marquis last night.
Yeah, these guys are feeding off each other. Levon Hernandez, a great outing, 8 innings, 5K performance on Thursday. He was lights out. We talked to him yesterday. He said it's some of the best command I've ever had at the big league level. I mean, just darting the strike zone, and he was doing it all. And when you talk about these two guys, Hernandez and Marquis, they were baseball players. They're hitting, they're running, they're throwing strikes. Jason Marquis last night with the 5-hit shutout. You look at the command right there, and I still can't believe the tomahawk chop that he dropped, this line drive off Tim Lincecum. So these guys are feeding off each other. They're pitching very well. And all of a sudden, it's John Lannon. Hopefully he watched them work, and he can do what they did.
Nationals team ERA even slightly under that of the world champions, who have an unbelievable pitching staff. John Lannon has beaten the Braves and narrowly lost to the Phillies at home.
Yeah, you know, you remember the rain delay in Pittsburgh last time out. It kind of threw him off a little bit. But for John Lannon, we make a lot of fun of this 5-inning streak that they have. We like it because it's the only streak in the big leagues. Every single game they've thrown 5 consecutive innings. But you know what? The bullpen has the second fewest innings in the National League, only behind Philadelphia. So what is this doing? It's keeping the Nats bullpen fresh.
John Lannon only 4 earned runs his last 10 innings at home. Now, what's up with Daddy Desmond? He comes back from the birth of his first little guy. 5 out of 7, 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, and now Ian is batting a stellar .247. At least compared to what he was hitting before, he is red hot. Brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Acura. Acura Advance. A lot of folks still coming down Half Street. It's going to be a gorgeous day at the ballpark. 66 sunny skies. There are breezes blowing. Visit Trane.com for an independent Trane comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Giants are hitting only .241, and now only the Pirates and the Padres have scored fewer runs in the National League. Aaron Rowan's hitting .340 on the road, and he's the 6th best batter in the league against left-handed pitching. John Lannon, beware. He's hitting .450 against left-handers. John makes his second career start. He dueled Tim Lincecum in San Francisco last year, got a no decision in a game the Nationals eventually lost in extra innings. So these two groups of this pitcher and these hitters haven't seen a whole lot of each other.
Yeah, last time out he took the loss in Pittsburgh, had a 2-run lead but couldn't hold on. Remember the 20-minute rain delay, kind of got thrown off by that. Went 5 2/3, 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 Ks. The defense behind John Lennon today for the Nats. Morse, Ankiel, and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Jerry Hairston on the left side. Espinosa LaRoche on the right side. And dropping the digits today, Wilson Ramos.
Nats and the Giants 12 and 13. Paul Emmel, 12-year veteran, has the plate. Rob Drake, crew chief Gary Darling, and Bruce Dreckman on the bases. Aaron Rowan is already in there in his crouch, waiting for John Lannon. Rowan hitting .296, on base percentage of .337. First pitch at 4:06. And Lannon falling behind. Sanchez and Posey to follow here. Giants trying some different lineup combinations against the lefty today as Bruce Bochy is hunting base hits. Desmond, couple of hops on target for the first out. Talked about the Nationals' ERA, and their record for April is going to be obliterated from 6 years ago. Ian Desmond, last 9 games, hitting the ball really well, and he's really driving it for extra base hits. And the starters have been really impressive the last 3 games. That's, of course, Gorzolani, who pitched well. Deserved better than he got in the game the Nats lost late against the Mets. And then Levon and Marquis. Here's Freddie Sanchez hitting .284. It's a day at the ballpark with some orange juice for Levon Hernandez. He's pitching like Florida's finest right now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Must be a great job to be a starting pitcher. Deal 8 innings, sit there for 4 days. Jason Marquis throwing a shutout last night. Kick back and watch some baseball till your next start and feel good about yourself.
Well hit. Desmond, backhand, plants and fires. What a pick by LaRoche, 2 outs. Adam LaRoche has been amazing at first base.
Yeah, this play is made by Ian Desmond getting rid of the baseball. If he takes the extra step right here, Freddie Sanchez is safe because he can get down the line and look at LaRoche on the backside. I mean, what an advantage as an infielder to know you just have to get it in a circle over there, and your first baseman's going to pick you up. Great play on both ends.
As good as I thought Adam LaRoche was going to be, he's even better. That is an in-between hop that is very difficult. Here's Buster Posey, who's actually playing first base. And LaRoche flawless at first so far. So they get Posey out from behind the plate here, FP. Day game after a night game. Have the Giants done that before?
It's his first start at first base since August 22nd of last year. So he hasn't played first base in a while. I talked to him today, and he said, I haven't even taken ground balls over there. So Bruce Bochy searching for some offense against a left-hander, put him at first base.
And one of the reasons Aubrey Huff is not playing, he's 3 for his last 31. Lannon pitching to contact. 2 ground ball outs already, and a 2-1 count to Posey, who's hitting .250. Nationals just got a little help from St. Louis, who scored 3 runs in the last 2 innings and beat the Braves 3-2. And Roy Halladay pitched a complete game today, beating the Mets 2-1. High gas from John Lennon on a 3-1 pitch that Posey was geared up for. Lennon looking for the 1-2-3. And a drive to right. Drifting forward is Jason Worth, and John Lennon gets the Giants in order. With that run, the Nats did not give up in the first. They've now only given up one first-inning run in the last 7 games. Starting lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics, and the Nationals love extra base hits. That's what Ian Desmond has done his last 2 games. Look at that. The homer, the triple, the doubles, and 3 runs. Danny Espinosa hitting .235. And here's Jonathan Sanchez, 2-1 with a 3.21 ERA. His 4th career start against the Nats. He's 1-1 with a high ERA. Washington has been able to score some runs off of him in 3 starts and 3 career relief appearances.
He had the flu his last start against Atlanta, went 5 innings of 2-hit ball. Dating back to last year is a streak of 12 consecutive starts where he's held the opposition to 3 earned runs or less. Fastball, low 3/4 fastball, go 90 to 94. He's got a slider and a split to go with it.
2-1 Espinosa hitting .292 right-handed. They play Danny straight away. He'll take a tailing fastball, 90 to the outside corner. First time he's ever faced Jonathan Sanchez. As I mentioned last night, the Nats played the Giants home and home before the All-Star break last year. So a lot of the young guys have never seen San Francisco pitching in person. And some of the guys, partner, are still talking about a couple of swings Lance Nix took last night. He made an impression on that dugout, didn't he?
Yeah, sometimes that can work in your advantage if you haven't seen a guy before. You know, Lance Nix never had seen Tim Lincecum before last night.
Espinosa takes the walk. That's the 9th time he's walked this year.
The defense for the Giants today behind Jonathan Sanchez. Burrell, Rowan, and Ross in the outfield. Fontenot and Miguel Tejada getting the start at third base today. Sanchez and Posey on the right side doing the catch, and Eli Whiteside. There's Buster Posey. Hasn't taken a ground ball at first all year. Guess what? You're playing first today.
Rick Ankiel. Rick needs to start collecting some base hits, down to 215. He's 5 of 28 over his last 8 ball games. And 0 for 2 career against Sanchez. Lefty-lefty matchup. How tough is this guy for a left-handed hitter?
Very tough. He's got the 3/4 release point. Looks like it's coming right at you. Throws across his body. But for the Nats today, the game plan is make him throw strikes. Seeing Jonathan Sanchez pitch a lot over the years, he has a tough time finding his release point. He'll let you know early on if he's going to be good on a given day.
Ankiel takes a fastball high in the zone. Nationals start the day with their batting average on the climb, .231. They've moved up to 4th from the bottom in the league. When the Nats came back to town, they were hitting .223. Ankiel with a double play ball. Sanchez and Fontenot. Buster Posey looked like his right foot came up a little bit, but evidently he stayed on that bag. It's a 4.63 for the Giants. Mike Fontenot played primarily second base in Chicago next to his old LSU buddy Ryan Theriot.
And check out Fontenot. He has trouble getting this ball out of his glove. It's a good feed from Freddie Sanchez to start the double play. Check out the fumble right here. Double pump. Buster Posey maybe stretching a little too early. A guy that played first base a lot early in his big league career, then moved to catcher. Sometimes as a first baseman, if you stretch too early, it's hard to get a bad throw. You're already out there, you're stretching, you're vulnerable.
And the bases are empty for Jason Worth. And to say the least, this is an interesting matchup. Worth, the right-hander, 0 for 12 career against Jonathan Sanchez.
A little macho stare down right there. Did you see that?
Is that Worth squaring around a little bit?
Check it out. Fastball up and in. He squares to bunt. He's 0 for 12 with 6 Ks. Check out the stare down. Wow. Game on. Here we go.
Why was that a strike? Scoreboard says 0-2. I didn't see any swing or bunt attempt.
Maybe Jason Worth should have been staring the other way. Back at the umpire.
Yeah, evidently.
Back at Paul Emmel.
I mean, even with him obstructing the umpire's view, there's no way that ball was anywhere near the top of the strike zone. Changes the at bat. And Worth will take one right down the middle. So the scoreboard did have it wrong. It was 2-1. Now 2-2.
That's where he goes to that back knee slider.
And Worth will take it in the dirt. Jason has walked 11 times this year.
Excuse me, partner, he hasn't taken his eyes off Jonathan Sanchez yet. Buzzed the tower, and he's still looking at him.
Well, you know, that ball was like over the plate. It wasn't right at his helmet or anything, but Worth was squaring around the bunt. 3-2. He'll take it just outside. 2 walks in the inning for Sanchez. The double play took care of the first one. And now in the odd statistic department, you have a left-handed batter, Adam LaRoche, who's batting .500 against this guy with a home run. In his career, 4 for 8 with a homer and 2 RBIs against Sanchez. Interesting. Maybe a hanging breaking ball or 2 somewhere in there.
Well, we talked about it last night. A lot of times a lefty will lock you in. You go left on left, you have to keep your front side in there. You let the ball get deep, you start to use the whole field. We talk to a lot of left-handed hitters. If they're struggling, they like to face tough lefties. It makes them stay on the ball.
Laid off the high fastball. 2-0. Sanchez, 6th start of the year. Opponents hitting only .214 on him. Control numbers okay, not great. 33 strikeouts, now 16 walks. And LaRoche on 2-0, taking a half swing and foul tipping the high pitch.
Jonathan Sanchez can be very deliberate at times. His tempo when he gets base runners out there is very slow. You'll see the defense on their heels a lot. When he starts walking guys, he slows down his rhythm, slows down his pace. Usually his games take a long time.
He's capable of pitching low-hit games, even a no-hit game here in the major leagues. He had 4 no-hitters in college. He played at a small school in Columbus called Ohio Dominican, an NAIA school. He had 4 no-hitters in his career there. And he tossed one for the Giants 2 years ago. 13-9 last year, 33 starts with a .307 ERA. He's never quite made it to 200 innings. 193 last year, the closest he has been. A lot of pitches here, 3-1, and LaRoche takes another walk. 2 on, 2 out with Wilson Ramos coming in.
Dave Righetti going to take a trip out there to try to tighten up Jonathan Sanchez. But if you're Wilson Ramos right here, this is the old story. Am I aggressive? Should I be aggressive? He hasn't established a strike zone yet. But if you come into the game hitting .373 and you're Wilson Ramos, what you do right here is you keyhole him. You look for one pitch in one spot, and if you get it, come unglued. If it's anything other than the pitch in the zone you're looking for, you take.
Great approach against a pitcher who's struggling. So, folks, if you see the hitter swing at the first pitch after he's walked 3 guys in the inning, FP just told you why he would be doing that.
It's the pitch that he's looking for. And I always used to hate that gamble because, you know, it's only a good at-bat if you hit a ball in the gap after a guy walks a couple guys. I used to take a strike all the time, but you know, Wilson Ramos a much better hitter than I ever dreamed of being.
He's off to a .373 start. 19 hits in 16 games. No way to keyhole that one. That was on the other side of the door jamb.
And this is one where, you know, it's a tough at-bat. A lot of times you'll hear hitting coaches say, hey, let him hang himself out there. If he's going to blow up, blow up. Don't help him out. Don't get him out of this jam. The other side of that coin is you could do some serious damage if he tries to just lay one in there.
Off speed he goes, 2-0. So right now Sanchez trying everything he can. We saw Lincecum struggle with his off-speed and breaking stuff early in the game. Ramos is a Rookie of the Year candidate, but it's very early. Danny Espinosa on the lift. Freddie Freeman down there at the bottom. Great rookies in this division once again. Ramos, look out, tosses his bat, flies over the dugout, and fortunately, no one injured.
That's what you call throwing some head right there. Look out.
Wow. That ball had, or that bat had such velocity on it. It went over the head of Bo Porter by about 15 feet, and he was ducking. Ramos doesn't appear to be interested in exchanging bats, so he just went back and got a new one. Two balls and one strike. Way upstairs.
The pitch before that was a ball that Wilson Ramos swung at right there. So that's 4 balls in a row from Jonathan Sanchez.
He's going to throw at least 24 pitches in this first inning. And the Nats have put 1 ball in play. A double play off the bat of Ankiel. He's going to keep the line moving for the Nationals. Bases will be loaded for Michael Morse. Michael Morse has a home run against Jonathan Sanchez, July 10th.
And he's been heating up, too. His at-bats have been getting progressively better every single day. Watch him take batting practice again today. He was standing by the cage. He's launching some missiles out to right field. Same game plan for Michael Morse. You got to look for a ball, your pitch, one spot, or you're taking all the way.
That was a game-tying homer in the second inning that made it a 3-3 game. In a ball game the Nationals eventually lost 10-5 the Saturday before the All-Star break. Well, Michael Morse, same approach here. Hits it hard on a hop to Miguel Tejada. He was keyholing a pitch and he got a good piece of it. Long, scoreless, bottom of the first for Jonathan Sanchez and the Giants.
He will have surgery next Tuesday morning in Philadelphia to repair it. Here's Ryan on the news.
It's frustrating, and it's good to see them playing well, though. I think, we have a very deep team. We have some veteran guys, and anytime you can't play and can't help the guys that, you go to battle with, you go to spring training with, and, but to see them play well makes it a little bit easier.
This is an injury that's been nagging since spring training, and he aggravated it when he slid into second base earlier this month. Jim Riggleman tells me the third base duties will continue between Alex Cora and Jerry Hairston, who have done a great job over there. And Jim said, too, he wants the ball hit to third because he has so much confidence in them. Bob?
The abdominal tear is of the muscle they call the rectus, R-E-C-T-U-S. It's a very important postural muscle responsible for flexing the lower part of your back, like when you do a crunch. And that ball is really crunched out to right center. And Pat Burrell hitting it hard. Worth is there, and Jason is covering some serious ground in right field these days. So, you know, just imagine an injury to your lower back, and that's going to take Ryan Zimmerman a while.
Yeah, it is going to take a while, and it took Jason Worth a while to get to this baseball. Absolutely punished by Pat Burrell. Nice play on the run as the fence is approaching. You see his sunglasses shining right there? That means the sun is right in his eyes. And anytime you see an outfielder where his glasses are lit up, it means he's looking into the sun.
And here's Miguel Tejada hitting .214. Fastball is in there. John Lannon pitching to contact. His defense taking care of 4 in a row. 2 on the ground to Desmond, 2 in the air to Worth. That's just outside the bag foul. Miguel Tejada in his career only 1 for 11 against John Lannon. High gas for the strikeout. Tejada's the kind of hitter, if you get him 0-2, you don't have to throw a strike to get him out. 5 in a row for John Lannon.
Well, if you're going to miss location, miss it by a lot. This ball was supposed to be down and in on his back knee, and it was up and away. So maybe Miguel Tejada was thinking fastball in. Swinging a pitch over his head. See where Wilson Ramos is set up and see where the ball ends up? That's a good mistake.
Cody Ross is in his 8th game since coming off the disabled list on the heels of a right calf injury. Lannon is a strike thrower early in this game. John comes in with control numbers not that great. 15 strikeouts, 11 walks in 27 innings. Of course, we all know John is not a strikeout pitcher. So those walks need to stay down. That number needs to remain in that area for quite a while. Trying to get that 4.05 ERA down. He's looking sharp so far today. Down to third. Little in between hop for Hairston. And 6 in a row for John Lannon to start the game. And the Giants' bats are pretty silent here in D.C. Don't go west, young man. How about the National League West with 4 of those 5 and Seattle's Felix Hernandez the other. Hardest guys to hit. So why is all the good pitching out there? Not all of it, but a good part of it.
Pretty good pitching in red the last couple of nights on the East Coast.
You got that right, too. Here's Desmond. Shows bunt. He got Tejada on the move. Ian is now 5 for his last 7. And his batting average, sitting down in the low 200s about a week and a half ago, is now at 247. That hit him. That was a breaking ball, boring in on him. And Jonathan Sanchez has now walked 4 batters and hit 1. And Bruce Bochy wants to know why that was called. He didn't think Desmond did anything to get out of the way.
Maybe he thought it hit the bat, too.
It sounded like a thud, not a crack of a bat. Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire. Bochy out of the dugout in a hurry.
Well, we saw Eli Whiteside arguing with Paul Emmel, so he's got to come out and argue, too. And he probably was thinking that that ball might have hit the bat.
Well, the umpire can't ask for help on that play. It would be Rob Drake at first base looking straight into the right-handed batter. And you hope that nothing's wrong with Desmond after the way he has started swinging the bat.
And if it did hit the bat, great job by the Nationals. Jim Riggleman and Lee Kuntz being out there at first base.
That looked like it got him near the elbow.
Now, we talk about last inning. I mean, Michael Morse comes up, swings at the first pitch. He hits the ball hard, but you had bases loaded and a guy on the edge. And in a day like today with the 4 o'clock start, it becomes ultra important to score early in this ball game. When all of a sudden the shadows start creeping out later in the day, and as a hitter you can't see the baseball well. You got good vision right now. You got a pitcher that's struggling to throw strikes. You got to take advantage of what's going on at this point in the game.
They've got Desmond picked off. High throw is dropped by Fontenot. Probably give him an error. If the official score rules, it would not have been a stolen base. And I think they get him if he just holds on to the ball.
And Desmond just guessing that Jonathan Sanchez is going home right there. Went on first move. And maybe they were thinking that Buster Posey hasn't played first base in a while. He's got a cannon. He's a good athlete. He's played there in the past. But Mike Fontenot just whiffing on the throw.
Now Hairston a chance to at least move the runner. But John Lennon is not the kind of hitting pitcher the Nats have featured the last 2 nights in Livan Hernandez and Jason Marquis. So Hairston looking to drive in the run here, not just move a guy around. They have given an error to Fontenot, his first of the year. Hairston hitting .220 with 5 RBIs in his career against Jonathan Sanchez. He's driven in 2 runs, 2 for 13. A lot of hitting room right side. Change up away. Freddie Sanchez jockeying with the runner as Fontenot has to stay home at short. And Sanchez doing whatever he can to keep Desmond close to second. That's why Buster Posey's playing so far off the line at first. And a step off by Sanchez. Another off-speed pitch.
So this is a situation, if you're Jerry Hairston, you're looking for a ball you can drive. Ideally, you want to drive it to the right side. You're thinking right center field gap. But you got count leverage right now. Pick a fastball right in your zone and drive it. Don't help Jonathan Sanchez out. He's struggling finding the strike zone. Get your pitch. Drive in a run.
Takes it up and away. It's another walk. Number 5 by Sanchez. And it won't be easy by any means for John Lannon, but it presents a very good bunting situation.
5 walks and a hit by pitch. 6 free base runners already. You've seen this before from Jonathan Sanchez. If he can't find his release point, if he's struggling to find where he has to let go of the baseball with his mechanics, he's got so much going on out there. You know, the long limbs, the long delivery. In the past, he's had trouble finding the strike zone. Right now, he is searching. He does not know where his release point is. He can't throw a strike.
Lannon, one sacrifice this year, 14 in his career, and that's a strike. I'm going to jinx Sanchez right now by telling you he's throwing a no-hitter. Nobody can touch him, and he can't touch home plate for the most part. Very odd beginning to this game for a quality pitcher. On the corner. I don't think John Lannon liked the elevation of the pitch. But you know, if it's 0-2, you still have to have the bunt on here. You cannot afford him to bounce into a double play to kill the inning.
And it doesn't have to be a great bunt. You have good base runners out there with a lot of speed. Just get the ball on the ground, and both of these guys are going to advance.
Target away. John stabs at it and misses it. First strikeout for Sanchez. Top of the order, Danny Espinosa.
If you're thinking about a hit and run right here, we've seen Jim Riggleman do this a couple of times this year. Runners on first and second, one out. You got good speed on the bases. You got a guy that can handle the bat at the plate. It's hard to hit and run when a guy isn't throwing strikes.
Early work for the right-hander, longtime reliever Guillermo Mota. 2 on, 1 out. Nationals have had 6 base runners already. As soon as they can get ahead, there'll be a crooked number up on that board. Espinosa driven in 15. Wow.
And Bruce Bochy's not going to wait around much longer. Jonathan Sanchez, his tempo's poor right now. He has no idea of the strike zone. The bullpen is up. And, you know, he's been pitching with the flu, so maybe that has something to do with it. His last out against Atlanta, he had the flu, but this is not something as a manager you're going to wait around and watch for a while.
Danny Espinosa's last RBI came in the 5th inning of the second game of the doubleheader in St. Louis a week and a half ago. A bloop single to center. Been sitting on 15 now for the last 9 games. Off speed. Secondary lead by Desmond. Great base running. That ball didn't get that far away from Eli Whiteside. And both runners move up. Desmond with Hairston behind him.
When you're on second base and there's nothing on, there's no hit and run, there's no steal, what do you do as a base runner if you're at home? You're a young kid, you're playing baseball. You look for the ball in the dirt. Ian Desmond broke as soon as he saw Eli Whiteside go to his knees. Check it out. No hesitation right here. Just breaking. We've seen the aggressive base running for the Nationals win them some games this year. That's a great job by Ian Desmond, anticipating a curveball in the dirt, seeing it and going.
2-1 count now. And Sanchez has walked 5, hit a batter, and now he's thrown a wild pitch. So he's done almost everything but balk to beat himself here. Espinosa takes a big power swing. Danny needs to cut down the strikeouts a bit. He has 19 strikeouts and 85 at bats. He's been successful 70% in situations like this. But that big swing may not work here. 2-2. That hits him. And the bases are loaded again.
7 free base runners. An inning and a third. And that does not feel good. I was hit by a lot of pitches. That was probably the only thing I ever did good. And look at Danny Espinosa right there. That is not a good spot. When you get hit on the knee, there's a nerve right there. If you've ever iced your knee, when you put that bag of ice on there for a while, that nerve starts to ache. That ball hit that nerve, and that hurts, folks. Let me tell you, there ain't a whole lot of padding around your knee.
Rick Ankiel hit into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. If you're the hitter coming in, how do you even think about picking out a pitch in a certain location when the pitcher has no location?
Make him throw strikes. Don't be aggressive right here. Change your game plan.
Looked like almost a backup breaking ball, a changeup that he got on the inside corner. Nationals looking for some contact here to take the lead. There's some contact. That ball is off the glove of Fontenot. All the runners will move up 90 feet, and the Nationals take the lead. Jerry Hairston had to be really careful at second base not to get doubled off. So he makes it to third, and Ankiel delivers his 7th RBI.
You take him any way you can get him right now. Left on left, we've seen Rick Ankiel do this before. Stays inside the ball. Good effort by Mike Fontenot going back on this. The runners have to freeze, and you look at Jonathan Sanchez not backing up the play, just standing on the mound, acting as the cutoff man.
And Jason Worth has a chance to really give the Nats an early lead here. First base hit that was. And a breaking ball stays outside. Jonathan Sanchez unofficially has already thrown 43 pitches, and he has 4 outs. Worth takes a fastball. You're not going to get that borderline call when you've struggled like Jonathan has. And now, after hitting 3 career grand slams, Worth can look for something to drive. Just a little bit late. Third base, Hairston, he walked. Second base, Espinoza hit by a pitch. And yes, there is somebody on who hit their way, and that's Rick Ankiel.
I mean, it's hit or be hit at this point.
Great speed on all 3 bases, by the way. And Worth takes a big cut and hits it straight back. Not much a manager can do, except maybe hope for a ground ball right at somebody, and then hope his guy can get his day turned around. The one thing he's done, he's pitched his way out of this ball game at some point this afternoon pretty early because of the pitch count. Worth gets jammed and fights it off. Jason Worth, a lack of RBIs this year because of a lack of men on base in front of him. Not so right here. He's going to be called out on strikes, taking a borderline pitch with the bases loaded. That hurts when your big guys don't swing the bat in situations like that. Next up will be Adam LaRoche.
Jason Worth arguing the call. He thought it was down. Let's check it out. Looked like it was below the knees to me.
How do you give a pitcher that call? Well, at the bottom of the box on that convergence pitch track. Man, hard to believe he would get a borderline call when he has struggled so. Convergence and Citrix, winning team for desktop virtualization, convergencetech.us. Way outside to LaRoche.
I mean, the beef that Jason Worth would have right there is he walked on a 3-2 pitch his first time up that was very similar to that pitch. So as a hitter, it's all you ask for is consistency from the whole plate umpire. If you're going to call it a strike one time, call it a strike the next time. If you're going to call it a ball one time, call it a ball the next time. But I'm sure if you asked Jason Worth and he had to do it over again, he would have liked to have fired off a swing right there.
LaRoche breaks his bat. Pitcher doesn't cover. Boy, where is Jonathan Sanchez's mind right now?
He didn't back up on the throw from center field, and he didn't cover first right there.
Unbelievable, but the Nats only have a 1-0 lead. his first 2 innings. So John Lannon has to go out and pretend like it's a 1-0 game, because it is.
8 base runners by the Nationals, 1 run scored.
I mean, he probably feels like he should be up 4 or 5-0, but that's not the case. Just go out and do his job like the other starters have done lately, and all takes care of itself. Don't forget about our Grand Slam Flex plan. Pick 4 games, get a 5th one free. Nationals.com/Grand Slam for tickets. You can start at just $60. Great deal, good seats. Lannon, strike 1 to Mike Fontenot, the shortstop.
And you wonder if Jonathan Sanchez's tempo affecting John Lannon at all. You know, when you're golfing and maybe your partner's working a little bit too slow, the guy you're golfing with, you want to get the ball and throw it. We've seen John Lannon this year with great tempo every time out.
Yeah.
Steve McCaddy said at times he works too fast. The other guy can't throw a strike. He's hitting guys, and you have to sit over there on the bench. I wonder if it's going to affect him at all.
Yeah, no, nothing's more frustrating than standing in that fairway while your partner's looking for his ball all over the place. And the 0-2 laced to right, Worth tracking it, fighting the sun, which, as FP mentioned, is coming in right over the third base grandstand. And right field is a really tough sun field here in D.C. this time of the day. This ballpark, if you draw a line from home plate out to center field, it's straight to the northeast. So that western sun right in his eyes.
Good job of cruising over there. Beat on one side of the baseball. Sometimes if you play the ball off to the side, you'll lose the sun. Take the sun out of the play.
Here's Eli Whiteside, veteran 31-year-old catcher. Former Oriole, drafted by them back in 01, 8 years in the minor leagues. 238 part-time action for the Giants last year. Did not appear in the postseason. 6'2", 218. He's a Mississippi guy from a town called New Albany. Unless they call it Albany like they do in Georgia. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball is up. Albany, Georgia, Ray Knight's hometown. We sure hope Ray gets better and comes back to us soon. He's been out for 4 games now. Not feeling well. Get well, buddy. 2 balls and a strike. And Whiteside jacks 1 to left, heading for the bullpen. And this game is tied. Eli Whiteside, 7th major league home run at the age of 31. A jolt for the Giants from an unexpected source.
Check out the swing, Eli Whiteside. Just pulling his hands inside the baseball. See where he's getting it out in front with the extension. That's what makes home runs. Get that extension, get the ball out in front. So he hits one in the bullpen. He had a little bat flip to boot.
Hit 4 homers last year. His career high. How about that? John Lannon gives up his 3rd long ball of the year. And after all the opportunities the Nationals had, this game is tied. They've let the bases loaded 2 consecutive innings. Jonathan Sanchez, the hitter, 1 for 10. He's a 105 career hitter. Fastball at the letters. FP, when a guy doesn't back up and then doesn't cover first base and you know he's not feeling well, does anybody say anything to him when he comes into the dugout?
Maybe how you're feeling. I mean, you know, I've watched Jonathan Sanchez pitch a lot, and I've never seen him not back up home plate, not cover first base, hit a couple guys, and walk that many guys. So you have to wonder, you know, coming off the flu in his last start against the Braves, how he's feeling.
By the way, our director, Doug Gielacki, tells us that they had a camera on the Giants dugout, and Dave Righetti did take him down into the tunnel, and they had a visit at the end of the inning. Top of the order now. Rowan here in the 3rd. First pitch swinging, fair ball, backhanded Hairston. Nationals defense stellar today. And Lannon gives up a homer to tie the game. Ramos, Morrison, Desmond will be batting for the 2nd time. Besides Sanchez, the other 3 lefties to pitch a no-hitter for the Giants. Lefties for the Giants.
I know they have a coach that threw one.
Rigetti?
Yes.
As a Giant?
Nope.
So they weren't necessarily with the Giants when they threw them. Is that pitchers who throw no-hitters for the Giants? We're a little confused. We're getting no answers. Pitches up and away, 0-2 to Ramos. Bottom of the 3rd underway. Ramos walked his first time. And Ramos takes one up high as the shadows from the light standards creep beyond the batter's box now. Batter's eye in center field will be in the sun for quite a while here on a brilliant clear day. But a very odd 4:05 starting time, not conducive to hitting. Off-speed pitch and Ramos out ahead of it. Yeah, it said for the Giants. Three lefties. I don't think Randy Johnson pitched one while he was with the Giants, did he? Got his 300th win with the Giants. Ramos, Morrison, Desmond, 3 righties here in the 3rd. Sanchez, 50 pitches in the first 2 innings, 25 each. Change up, a good take by Ramos, 3-2, and now he's going to make Sanchez throw him 7 or 8 pitches. Little pop fly, right field line. Ball hanging up for Cody Ross. Today's a Harris Teeter Family Fun Pack Day at the ballpark. So's tomorrow. Every Saturday and Sunday when the Nats are home. Starting at $14 and includes a ticket, hot dog, chips, and a Coke. Log on to nationals.com/family for all your ticket information. Tell Dad we're going to the ballpark. Good to have you guys here today. Great crowd, good day. Strange ball game. Here's Morse. Michael swung at the first pitch with the bases loaded in the first inning after Sanchez had walked 4 batters. Hit the ball sharply, but right at Miguel Tejada, third base. Saw a pitch up he thought he could get over the top of. Counts even.
Yeah, such a gamble right there for Michael Morse in his first at bat. You got the bases loaded. Jonathan Sanchez having trouble throwing strikes. I mean, it was a good pass. He barreled it up and hit it hard to third base. But for me right there, when you got a guy that's struggling, the only way that's a good at bat is if it's in the seats or in the gap. I mean, he was on the brink of coming out of that game. Michael Morse hit it hard, and that's all you can do.
And then just the opposite in the second inning, 2-2 bases loaded with 1 out. And Jason Worth took a borderline pitch. Paul Emmel on a pitch that might have been low, punched him out. Our pitch track showed that it was at the bottom of the strike zone. Ian Desmond awaits. And Morse hacks one straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No other action in the National League until tonight. As mentioned, Roy Halladay, a complete game. Phillies 2, Mets 1. And St. Louis came from behind to beat Atlanta 3-2 after trailing Brandon Beachy 2-0 most of that game. In the division, the Marlins tonight are at Cincinnati. Josh Johnson Edinson Volquez, and Josh is 3-0 with a 1.06 ERA. That's pretty much it for the division. 13 more pitches this inning. But nobody can hit him. The only hits the Nats have, a weak little pop-up by Ankiel that deflected off the glove of Fontenot. Maybe Desmond can get something going.
Hey, ever since he had his first kid, he's been absolutely locked in. You see Ian Desmond nice and relaxed all of a sudden at the plate, nice and relaxed in the field. He's taking the ball to right, hitting it where it's pitched, doing everything.
You know, and everybody's wondering if everything on his mind with the birth of the child and all that was getting in the way. I mean, we don't have an answer for that. That's something only Ian could tell you, and he probably just said, I just didn't feel right out there. But, you know, we have to remember, he is still a young player in the big leagues. And I have a feeling some of his offensive problems were affecting his defense. I know it's not supposed to because you're playing at the highest level, but I think with young kids, when they're hitting, they're feeling good, they're doing everything out there. And when they're not hitting, it pressures everything else.
Yeah, and that's something you learn as a player. The older you get, the more mature you become with experience. You know, there's two sides to the game, lumber and leather. And it's hard to separate them. When you're not hitting good, you better be fielding good.
Yeah.
And if you're not fielding good, you better be driving in some runs.
I would venture to say there's three parts to his game: lumber, leather, and laces. He's been running the bases very well. 9 steals without being caught. Forced the Giants into a mistake today. And Paul Emmel's going to give Sanchez a called third strike right there. I'm kind of glad those 3 innings are over. It's a 1-1 game. What's the rest of this day have in store? Gentlemen and ladies, for your service, and the fans here at Nationals Park who salute them. Bob and FP back. I don't know, a wave goodbye rather than a salute to those first 3 innings. Very strange, but Sanchez is not long for this game because of that pitch count.
Yeah, but I've seen him do this a lot, to where he just does the Houdini act and gets out of jams. You look at the scorecard, 8 base runners the first 2 innings, only 1 run scored. You have to take advantage of those opportunities against a good pitcher like Jonathan Sanchez. He puts 8 guys out there. You got to cash in.
Top of the 4th, Sanchez. Freddie Sanchez leads off. Robbed of a hit in the hole by Desmond first time up. He'll drive this one to the gap, but Worth is there. I tell you, on a day when the sun's right in your eyes, every ball is hit to you. And Jason Worth has been flawless in right field so far. Not to be lost in all of this, the fact that John Lannon has given up 1 hit in 3 1/3 innings. Pitch count great, getting quick outs. Whiteside hit a mistake out of the ballpark, but you can make a pretty good living giving up a solo home run now and then. Here's Posey. He flied to Worth first time. And he hits one to right field. Worth cannot get this one. Short hops the wall. Look at this play. Look at this play. Very close. As Worth took it beautifully off the wall, and Posey has a double. And for Buster Posey, that breaks a 1 for 20 over his last 7 games.
Yeah, 0 for 10 on this road trip, so that's his first hit since he's put on the gray uniform in this trip. And when Buster Posey's right, this is what he's doing. He's going the other way. He's driving the ball to the opposite field with authority. Jason Worth giving it a good effort. The bare hand and the good throw to second base. But Buster Posey runs pretty good for a catcher. He's going to beat that throw every time.
Pat Burrell robbed of a hit by Worth. The Giants, despite having 2 hits, have had a pretty good approach against John Lannon. John's a good off-speed pitcher, down and away from righties, and they've been hitting the ball to right field. 5 hitters have gone that way. Time requested by Burrell and given by Paul Emmel, the umpire. Turned on that one and fouled it. Great play by a fan with a glove. Caught the line drive cleanly, and the little guy gets the souvenir. It's a family fun pack day here. For $14, you're not guaranteed to catch a foul ball. Only so much we can do. Burrell hooks one down the line. That was an off-speed pitch, and he couldn't wait long enough.
There was a game in Pittsburgh Monday night where we could have pretty much guaranteed you a foul ball, though.
That's true.
If you were there, odds were you were going to get one.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that we didn't play a day game so that more people showed up. Espinosa jockeying with the runner, and after a long look, Lannon will step off.
And Buster Posey's not going to steal third base. I mean, as a middle infielder, you have to just let him know you're there, but you don't have to worry about him at all. He's not going. I mean, for some reason, if he gets halfway there and you're not paying any attention to him, yeah, maybe.
0-2 fastball upstairs. Pat Burrell told the Giants, and he spent part of his youth in the Bay Area, he told them he did not want to go anywhere, did not want to go on the market. Whatever they wanted to pay him, he'd come back and play for them. So he signed a $1 million deal. Lannon's got the runner trapped, does the right thing by running him back, touches him. Now it's a double play. Nicely done, John Lannon. And then Pat Burrell tried to sneak into second base. That is a very unusual 1-6 double play. You run at the runner, make him go back. He falls. Then there's a bonus at second base.
plant by Teddy. Just misjudging the finish line by about 2 feet. He does a lip skid across it.
We couldn't bear to show you the rest. It was too gory. Bottom of the fourth, Hairston leads off. 1-1 ball game. Sanchez about to throw his 70th pitch. And Hairston lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This might be the strangest game we've seen all season long. You talk about 8 base runners for the Nationals in the first 2 innings getting 1 run, and then that double play right there by John Lannon.
I've never seen a double play like that. John did the right thing, and then Pat Burrell, who is not a fast base runner at all, tried to get to second base. And usually your objective as a base runner, if a guy gets in a rundown, is at least try to replace him in scoring position. But Burrell just doesn't have much speed to do that. So it's a 1-6 with a tag double play. In fact, 2 tags.
I mean, that's what you have to do as a pitcher. You run right at the runner. A lot of times you'll see pitchers give up the ball, then all of a sudden you got a good old-fashioned pickle out there, and there's 8 throws, and you'll see the batter runner advance to the base that the runner just started from. John Lannon did a great job of just running right at Buster Posey.
Yeah.
Make the runner commit, and then you pick your side, tag him out, throw it second. Great play.
Are you kidding me? Jerry Hairston says to Paul Emmel. The Nationals have struck out 5 times now, and 3 of them taking. Against a struggling pitcher, they haven't exactly swung the bats here.
Let's check out the pitch from Jonathan Sanchez. I mean, Eli Whiteside almost pulls that off the dirt. And anytime you see a catcher pull his glove or try to pull an outside pitch into the plate or take a low pitch and pick it up, we always used to say you don't have to frame strikes. If it's a strike, you just leave your glove where it is. So anytime you see a catcher pulling a pitch like that, he's telling you the ball wasn't a strike.
Well, Paul Emmel's strike zone for Jonathan Sanchez is like a pitcher who has a 1-hitter. But a pitcher who hasn't walked 5 guys, hit 2 others, and thrown a wild pitch. It's been very generous for the struggles that Sanchez has had. John Lannon struck out first time trying to bunt back in the second. And that's number 6. Now you fear he's going to mow through the next 3 or so innings on 30-some pitches, and you'll look up in the 6th or the 7th and he's still in the game.
Well, that was pitch number 77 from Jonathan Sanchez. So obviously he got away with a couple of innings where he didn't have his good stuff. Now he's feeling free and easy out there. He did his Houdini act that you've seen him do over the years.
And FP, his last outing, his briefest, or most brief, at 86 pitches. His high, 109.
And maybe all of a sudden as a pitcher you're thinking, well, I got the shadows in my favor. I found my release point all of a sudden. I got my mechanics. You know, the game is tied. It could be a lot worse. And now you're relaxed where maybe you were a little uptight early in the game.
He has struck out 4 hitters in a row in 5 of the last 7. And this bloop out to right center. Sanchez has righted his ship. 1-1 after 5. Doesn't really feel like a tie game, though.
commit to third base. Now all of a sudden you got Burrow on the backside. So for you kids at home, run right at the base runner. Make him pick a direction. Get that out first, and now you got the backside double play. Great job, John Lannon, with the fundamentals of a rundown. Run right at the runner.
And by the way, John Lannon remembered to do one other fundamental thing there, FP. He put the ball in his glove before he tagged the runner. Some guys tag the runner with the glove while they're holding the ball, and that is no tag. This ball out to left center, hanging up off the bat of Tejada, run down by Michael Morse. Fifth inning underway. John Lannon averaging 10 pitches per inning. The Nationals have allowed the Giants 1 run on 7 hits now in 13 innings of this series. Next up will be Cody Ross. Fastball to the corner. Ross bounced out to Hairston. By the way, I also noticed on that play, Hairston, as soon as he saw Lannon was going to make the tag, he started hollering and pointing at second base, letting John Lannon know the runner was trying to advance. So everybody did what they were supposed to on that play.
Yeah, direct a little traffic if you're not doing anything. Be his eyes. He can't see that. He's looking at Buster Posey. So great job by Jerry Hairston.
A wise baseball man once said, on every play, every fielder has a place to be. And that's not standing around ball watching. No swing, says Rob Drake.
Let's check it out one more time. You see John Lannon with the ball in his bare hand right there. Puts it in his glove for the tag, takes it out. I mean, the only thing he could have probably done a little bit better is kept the ball in his bare hand the whole time. Tagged him with the ball in his hand. That way he wouldn't have had to have the transfer. You talk about the game moving so fast at the highest level. Something little like that can make a difference in a safe out call.
Fastball up and in to Ross. Backs him out of there. Two-two. Jammed him severely. Two-hopper, Ian Desmond. Seven ground ball outs for John Lannon. Game flow. We're kind of looking for one here. The pitchers, at least Lannon now doing his part, and so Sanchez after his early struggles. So the game flow from Corona. They invite you to find your beach. Mike Fontenot lined out to Worth. First time.
Mike Fontenot getting the emergency start today. Miguel Tejada over at third base. Pablo Sandoval, been the Giants' best player so far this year, broke his hamate bone last night on a swing. He pulled the ball into the Nationals dugout. The hamate bone's a little hook in the middle of your palm. It's a useless bone, but a lot of times the barrel hits that bone and breaks it. So Pablo Sandoval out for 6 weeks. He's got to get surgery. They got to cut that bone out. So Mike Fontenot getting a start at shortstop today.
Wow. That's really a blow to their offense. What little there was. Giants hitting .241, 11th in the league, 95 runs in 25 games. Only the Pirates and Padres with fewer. The Nats have actually passed up the Giants in offense.
Not a good day for a third baseman in the nation's capital.
Sandoval, Zimmerman out 6 weeks. Ryan 6 more on top of the almost 3 he's already missed. Fontenot serves one left field line. That's the kind of hitter he is. Line drive hitter, very little power. 284 for the Cubs last year, and then he came over to the Giants in 28 games in a trade for a minor leaguer and hit 282.
This is a fastball away. Fontenot staying on it, not trying to do too much, just serving it out to left. Seen him do that before. That's what he does best.
Here's Eli Whiteside, who did more than served one first time. He got a pitch out in front and jacked it into the seats and left for his first homer of the year and his 6th career home run. Yeah, he's still around. Jonathan Sanchez. One swing of the bat could have taken him out of this game as early as the second inning, maybe the first. And Guillermo Mota warming up with Sanchez all over the place. Nats could not get bat on ball.
Walked 4 guys in the first, hit 2 guys in the second with a walk on top of it. Gave up a single to Rick Ankiel. Nats got just 1 run.
And that single came within an inch or 2 of nestling in Fontenot's glove. Landed great fastball, just missing. Really good tail away from the right-handed batter. I think there's some chirping from the dugout on that one. And Paul Emmel's hearing it, and he just took off his mask. They're wondering, hey, our guy hasn't been all over the place. How about his strike zone?
Well, the one thing you can see as a manager and a pitching coach from the bench is height. You can't see in or out. You can't tell if the ball's off the plate in or it's off the plate away, but you can see height. So they knew the pitch to Jerry Hairston Jr. was down. They thought the pitch to Jason Worth was down. They also thought that pitch to Eli Whiteside was high enough for a strike.
Even though they're not looking straight in from center field, they can also tell the lack of movement by a catcher's mitt. And it looked like Lannon pretty much hit Ramos where he was waiting. They got to be very pleased, though, the way John Lannon's throwing the ball. One good start after another by this pitching staff. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whiteside strikes out, and another Nationals pitcher goes 5 innings. Unbelievable. 26 in a row. Now it's time to score some runs. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. Ankiel, Worth, and LaRoche for the Nats. How about a treat and a rally? Let's talk about some trivia. Was Christy Mathewson a left-handed pitcher?
I got Carl Hubble in the answer of one of these. I know that.
Okay, besides Jonathan, the other 3 lefties. Wow.
I didn't hear about Hooks or Rube, but I had Carl Hubble.
Carl Hubble was a great Giant. He really was. Here's Sanchez back in 09, July 10th.
I mean, he's got no-hit stuff every time he takes the mound. It's just a matter of whether he can harness his power, find his release point. His mechanics vary from start to start. And the Giants have been waiting for this guy to kind of turn the page and be an elite left-hander. At times he is. He goes out there. He commands the strike zone. He's got a power fastball and a nasty slurvy thing he throws. But then there's days like today where he goes out there and he just can't find the strike zone. He can't find his mechanics. But he knows he got away with a couple innings today and he settled down.
0-2 to Ankiel. Oh, that's a good swing. Tailing away from Pat Burrow. You know Ankiel's thinking too. And he's going to be 2 for 3 today. 2 opposite field hits to break a 5 for 29 for Rick Ankiel. Lead runs on base.
I'm telling you, Jim Riggleman should think about doing an opposite shift, an opposite platoon with Rick Ankiel. I mean, he just owns lefties. You look at it right there. He's letting the fastball get deep, smoking it down the corner.
You think he tries to pull right-handers too much?
Maybe.
Takes big swings?
He just does less against lefties. He lets the ball get deep. He doesn't try to go out and get it. Doesn't swing too hard. Very relaxed up there. Not trying to do too much. Just a perfect swing.
Jason Worth, a no-contact day so far, with a walk and a strikeout. And he took the breaking ball in the dirt. That was an off-speed pitch. He threw a front door changeup to a right-handed batter and missed. 2-0. Mid-80s on the pitch count. Jason Worth has hit with 3 runners aboard today. We're still waiting for that breakout RBI game. He's had some multi-hit games. And that's out to short. It's in front of the runner, so Ankiel has to stay. Wise decision by Rick to go back to second. On the bounce of Fontenot. Now LaRoche and Ramos have to try to get that run home.
Not a good at-bat right there by Jason Worth. We've seen him have some great at-bats this season where he's battled and fought with 2 strikes, but you got a runner on second, nobody out in a tie ball game in the 5th inning. You got to find a way to get that ball to the right side.
Here's Adam LaRoche. By the way, on this brilliant Saturday, we'd like to wish a happy birthday to our Vice President of Marketing and Broadcasting, John Goiano, who's celebrating a birthday at the ballpark today. Adam LaRoche is 0 for 1 with a walk. Middle of the order, quiet today. In fact, Rick Ankiel has the only 2 Nationals hits, and Guillermo Mota is throwing again. This might be a telling thing because Sanchez is due to lead off in the 6th. He's approaching 90 pitches. Breaking ball outside. One ball game. Giants have out hit the Nationals 3-2. Straight back it goes, and Whiteside. Adam LaRoche is now going to be batting under 200. Wilson Ramos now with 2 outs. Adam LaRoche having a tough series, 0 for 5, 3 strikeouts last night. Ramos a fly ball to right last time, walked before that. Inside corner with the strike. And a breaking ball in there. If this is it for Sanchez, he's about to pitch 3 innings, his last 3, with only 1 base runner, Rick Ankiel, standing at second. Ramos on a nasty 0-2 pitch, hangs tough.
And Sanchez has got that slurve going on right now. He couldn't throw that thing anywhere near in the first 2, and he was bouncing it in front of home plate, and all of a sudden got the release point, feeling good about his mechanics, established the fastball in the strike zone. And this is a guy we just showed in the highlights that had no-hit stuff.
Still throwing 92 here. 93rd pitch, 92 miles an hour. Ballpark quiet, big crowd waiting. And it's 2-2. Probably our best crowd of the year since opening day. It's about 15 degrees warmer, I bet, on the first base line than it is in the shade on the left side on this mid-60s afternoon. Ramos fights off another breaking ball. This kid does some things that usually only veteran hitters do. When you consider he had 79 major league at-bats coming into the season, he finds a way to stay alive with 2 strikes.
Good hitters do that. They spoil good pitches, and then you wait for the mistake and you pounce on it.
And he takes the pitch that's upstairs, and he has worked this, and I mean worked this count to 3-2.
I remember being in the minor leagues, and some of my buddies that were pitchers would get called up to the big leagues. I say, what's the difference? I said, FP, they foul balls off. They'll sit up there for days and foul off balls with 2 strikes that, you know, I used to get strikeouts with in the minor leagues.
And then there goes your pitch count. There's another one.
I mean, this is just a great battle going. And why is he fouling off those pitches? Because he's got a good approach. He's getting his foot down early. He's keeping his hands inside the baseball. As a hitter, if you come around the ball, there's holes in your swing where, you know, I could pitch to you inside. I can get you out on the inner half of the plate. Wilson Ramos is covering the inner half of the plate. He's looking away and reacting in. So all of a sudden he becomes a tough out.
What an at-bat. 2 on, 2 out. And that will be walk number 6 for Jonathan Sanchez. Expect great sights at the ballpark with the Capital City View seats. Some of them start at just $10. Go to nationals.com/tickets. We'll see if Sanchez is done for the day. Scoreboard has him at 98 pitches. And he's only pitched 4 2/3. I wonder what Buster Posey feels like standing there without any catchers during one of those meetings.
Naked, maybe?
As Bochy goes back to the dugout and Posey goes back to first base. And you're thinking time after time here, for a 2-out hit. The Nats have had numerous opportunities to break this game open on a very bizarre afternoon for Jonathan Sanchez. They left the bases loaded in the first 2 innings. 2 more aboard here now in the 5th. And Michael Morse 0 for 2, ground ball to third and a swinging strikeout. Low and inside. Next pitch will be 100. Off speed, and he just squirted that thing about 3 feet foul.
And see, that tells me that they're not seeing the baseball well right now. If you're ahead in the count 1-0, unless you're sitting on a curveball, you know, why would you swing at it? Other than you can't pick up rotation because of the shadow and the shade.
Well, there it is, FP. Hitter's eye in the sun, pitcher in the shade. Another sliver of sunshine in front of the plate. Tough time of the day at 5:35 local. Morse jammed and fouls it straight back. And Keel led off with a double. 2 outs later, Ramos walked. Michael Morse, 9 RBIs on the last day of April. And you figure this has to be it for Sanchez this inning. This might be his last hitter, whichever way it goes. 23 more this inning. He had 25 in the first, 25 in the second. Then 18, then 11, and now another long inning here. And a breaking ball in the dirt, Moore strikes out. I tell you, if he's feeling badly, he had a bad first couple of innings. He has really battled to get through 5 in this game. 1-1 it remains.
Still on the mound. Now, Steve McCatty has been getting a lot out of his starters lately, and that is something he hopes continues.
Everybody wants to go out and get deep into the games, and you know, you always want to do a little better than the next guy. Kind of hard to top Jason today, but Lanny's been throwing the ball well, other than that little rain delay thing we had in Pittsburgh. But hopefully he goes out and does the same thing.
Pitch to contact. Don't walk anybody. That's a recipe for success. And how about this, Bob and FP? 33 2/3 innings pitched. The Nats starters have only issued 2 walks.
That is outstanding, and that's a formula for success. And here's Lannon, 6th inning of work. He faces Nate Scherholtz, 27-year-old outfielder, batting for Jonathan Sanchez. He spent 6 years in the minor leagues and hit .308. And during his minor league career, part of which was coached by F.P. Santangelo, he hit 300 4 different seasons, partner.
He'd probably be hitting 386 if I hadn't coached him. But I had him in San Jose. He's a great kid.
Come on.
And he can swing the bat.
Out of San Ramon Valley High School. Played JUCO ball in Hayward, California. One ball and 2 strikes from Lannon, top of the order next. And John gets a pop-up left side. There's room in the shade for Hairston. Nationals pitching has been amazing this year. Giants only have 3 hits. The Buster Posey double. He was wiped out on that bizarre 1-6 double play. And then their only run, of course, the inning before that on the home run by Eli Whiteside, the 7th of his major league career. Mike Fontenot, harmless 2-out single in the 5th. That's been it. There's Aaron Rowand. 2 ground balls pulled to the right side. Lannon throws one right down the middle. Rowan lines one to left. Michael Morse comes in, has to block it. That's the proper play. He had no chance to catch that ball. And Aaron Rowan continues his nearly .340 hitting on the road this year.
Aaron Rowan digging the gray uni so far for the Giants, just going down and digging this ball out. A good pitch by John Lannon. You look at the location, it's down in the strike zone. Rowan just swinging the bat well right now. And partner, you called a good job by Michael Morse keeping that ball in front of him.
You know, and I've got the numbers in front of me, 271, 261, 230. But what has happened to Aaron Rowan the last 3 years? He was supposed to go to San Francisco with that big contract and just be almost a superstar type player for the Giants.
Andres Torres happened to Aaron Rowan last year. He got a couple of chances as a leadoff guy for the San Francisco Giants and just added a lot of energy into a lineup that didn't have a whole lot of energy. Aaron Rowan, probably not a leadoff hitter, more of a fifth or sixth guy in the lineup, and he was trying to do a good job in the leadoff spot, but as soon as Torres got a chance, he took advantage.
With the runner going, Desmond has one play, makes a quick exchange to get the runner at first base. On that high chopper by Sanchez. And as we mentioned last night, Andres Torres on the DL with a left Achilles strain. I know Nationals fans remember him. Friday, July 9th last year, he led off the game, hit a home run off Steven Strasburg.
He got a little pop in his bat, and the Giants are missing his energy. You see the chopper off the plate. I mean, that was literally off the plate. Good job of coming to get the ball by Ian Desmond.
2 outs. Lead run in scoring position, and a tough hitter for John Lannon, who doubled right center last time, Buster Posey. In fact, he doubled right over the head of Jason Worth. Short hop the scoreboard out there. Posey, 17 RBIs on the year. Lannon goes soft. Good changeup to the outside corner. And Buster on 2 strikes cannot afford to look for that pitch.
This is where if you're John Lannon, you're way ahead. Be careful. I mean, you got count leverage 0-2. You worked hard to get count leverage against a good hitter with runners in scoring position. Set something up. You got a couple pitches to get an out. Ramos wants it in the dirt.
Did. The dirt out in front of home plate, so he truly bounced it.
But that was an easy take for a hitter. I mean, whenever you see a ball bounce in front of the plate like that, it's not a tough take. Usually you want to use that 0-2 count to set something up. So not a lot of purpose with that pitch. I think John Lannon wanted to tease the strike zone a little more with that curveball. We'll see where he goes next.
Long look. Posey not waiting long, asking for time. Key spot in the ball game here, 1-1. Lannon due to bat third in the bottom of the 6th. His pitch count's been very good today, very economical. And Posey will pop one right field side and about 5 feet foul.
The one thing that impressed me most about Buster Posey as a rookie last year and watching him play is how when he gets count leverage, he gets ahead in the count, he'll air it out, he'll let the throttle out, but with 2 strikes, he takes a lot out of his swing. He spreads out, he thinks about going the other way, a lot like Wilson Ramos. We were talking about him. I mean, these are probably 2 of the best young catchers in baseball that have a really good idea of how to hit when they're ahead in the count and how to hit when they're behind in the count.
Well, there they are together in the picture. Ramos moves inside. Lannon gets the fastball not far inside. Oh, and that hurt Espinoza. He gets the out. And Danny Espinoza really took a shot right there. Using your body to get a very tough play. Wow.
And John Lennon's been great right from the get-go. You look at his tempo, where he's been with his command down in the strike zone to a bunch of good hitters. Made one mistake to Eli Whiteside. I don't even think it was a mistake. It was a good low pitch. He just dug it out and hit it in the bullpen. And Jonathan Sanchez, after being a horror show the first 2 innings, locked it in. That tells you a lot about the makeup of that guy. A lot of guys would have packed it in after those first 2 innings. He battled out there. Game's tied at 1.
38-year-old Guillermo Mota takes over. For all the time this guy has spent in the major leagues, he has 9 career saves. He's always been a good setup man. Probably had some of his best seasons for the Dodgers. 02, 03, 04, setting things up for Eric Gagne.
Yeah, 4-seam fastball, 90 to 95 miles an hour. He's got a slider and a change to go with it.
Well, anything has to be better for the Nats than what Jonathan Sanchez was featuring. He hit a bunch of them, but they could never hit him. So it's the bottom of the 6th. Hats off to Sanchez for battling his way through 5 innings on what obviously was not his best day. Strike on the corner to Desmond. 0 for 1 hit by a pitch. 103 pitches, 57 strikes in 5 innings. Just 1 run on 2 hits. 6 walks, 2 hit batters. A wild pitch. Everything but a balk today. Brian Broderick for the Nats. As mentioned earlier, Lannon due to bat third. John's only thrown 67 pitches. Do managers automatically warm up guys from the 6th inning on? Or is there a reason that you would warm up a pitcher with John Lannon shutting down the Giants on 3 hits through 6 innings, and he's averaging 10 pitches an inning, maybe 11?
Well, maybe pitch count, maybe just a safety net piece. I mean, you got a tie ball game, a couple runners on. You want to have somebody to go to in case the wheels fall off quickly. You got to cover your bases.
Desmond lines one to center, but it carries right to Aaron Rowan. Hairston next. And we'll keep our eyes on the on-deck circle. John Lannon is on his way. Nats box. The only RBI, Ankiel's bloop single in the 2nd. Rick had an RBI double in the 5th, and the Nationals never got him beyond second base. So the 1st, 2nd, and 5th have been frustrating innings.
And you also get your bullpen up in case you get a leadoff triple from Desmond. Maybe, Hairston doesn't get him in. You have to pinch hit for your pitcher in a 1-run game, in a tie game, excuse me.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. When you need the RBI.
Yeah, you go for the win. You take your shot. You got to pinch hit for the pitcher. You got to have somebody up.
So if Lannon bats here with 2 outs and the base is empty, Broderick probably sits down. We'll see. Mota whipping in that sidearm breaking ball. Got to be tough for a right-hander to hang in against that. He is a large man, and he started pitching in the big leagues before there were a lot of really, really big pitchers. 99 his first year. They list him at 6'6", 238. He's going to stay with that breaking ball until somebody can do something with it. One out, bases empty, bottom 6 in a 1-1 game. Quite a pitcher's duel despite some bumps in the road. Right field, the approach. Hairston takes. It's out of play. Sounded like a broken bat. Miguel Tejada throws out. Hairston 2 down. Lannon looks back at the dugout, and he's been told to hit. Now we'll see if Broderick keeps throwing. Broderick continues to throw. Here's John Lannon. John has struck out swinging twice against the left-hander Sanchez. Fastball misses away. Hey, he was taking his shot.
Good hack right there.
Look at the starters. 4 earned runs, 1 a game, a walk every 2 games, and about 5 strikeouts per game. Not to mention 7+ innings per game. Those are unreal numbers.
I mean, who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? One of the better starting rotation, not in the National League, but in the big leagues as we speak. You talk about the 5-inning streak, it's a big deal. The Nationals bullpen has the 2nd most innings in the big leagues. They're saving the bullpen because these guys are going deep into the game every single start.
Two-two to Lannon. And that's it for the 6th inning. On to the top of the 7th. You know, it's dinner time. How about a rack of ribs and some barbecue chicken at the ballpark? Top of the 7th inning, Burrell, Tejada, and Ross for the Giants in the top of the 7th inning. Monday against the Giants, 4 free tickets if you bring your military ID to the ballpark. Military Appreciation Night. Available tickets are Monday at the main box office, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. right out here in left field. The Grand Staircase box office after 5:30 p.m. 202-675-NATS for more ticket information on a wonderful military evening here Monday night. We'll wrap up this wraparound series. Pat Burrell lined hard to right, hit into a 1-6, and actually hit and ran into a 1-6 double play. Miguel Tejada and Cody Ross
Now check out John Lannon between pitches. He doesn't walk around the mound. He doesn't go get the rosin bag. He's just right on the rubber, ready to go. Look at that. He wants his sign. He wants a pitch. Got a great tempo going. Pat Burrell has to step out because he's working so fast.
Left-hander Jeremy Affeldt for the Giants. They have the luxury of 3 lefties in their bullpen with Javier Lopez and Dan Runzler, but we saw really throw the ball well here last night. And Lannon, a rare walk by a Nats starter, his first of the day. And there's some speed heading for first base now. This kid, Darren Ford, can absolutely fly. He ought to change his name from Ford to Ferrari. I mean, he can run. He has stolen some serious bags in the minor leagues.
Well, he's been nicknamed the Bullet by my buddy Marty Lurie, who I used to work with back in San Francisco. Probably the fastest guy in the big leagues. Absolutely fly.
Giants have stolen 12 bases on the year. Been caught 7 times.
I mean, you got to figure he's going to be moving sometime in this sequence, whether they go hit and run, whether it's just a straight steal. I mean, they didn't put him in the game to stand there.
Lannon with a quick toss. Ford 1 for 1 in stealing bases this year. Off he goes. Great throw. He slides right into it. And Espinoza holds on. Wilson Ramos with a bullet that landed right at the bag, and a tough nose play by Danny Espinoza.
You wonder why we're talking about the 2 of the best catchers in baseball right now, 2 of the best young catchers. Look at the footwork by Wilson Ramos. I mean, that's just like turning a double play. Gets rid of the ball, and it's right on the money. Danny Espinoza doesn't even have to put a tag down, and they get the speedy Darren Ford. And Danny Espinoza is going to have about 5 bags of ice on him today after this game.
Ramos now 4 for 9 caught stealing. And I'm not trying to start an argument up here, but that is a much easier play for a second baseman tagging out a guy's hands than it is his spikes.
Well, go ask Danny Espinoza right now. He just took a helmet to the shin.
Yeah, I know he did.
I mean, he got hit by a pitch today. He's taking a line drive from Buster Posey off his chest, and now that.
What a throw by Ramos.
Espinoza's playing a football game.
That ball fouled off his leg.
And check out where Ford's helmet hits. Right in the quad.
Yeah, left quad. Guess I hadn't thought of helmets as weapon. That ball served to the right side. LaRoche over to get it. It's a race. Lannon can't get there. That's one time when it might be wise to slide into first base, because you never know when there might be a high throw and a tag. They can't tag you if you're on the ground. That'll be a base hit for Tejada.
I don't know if John Lennon's foot ever got to first base, but it looked like Miguel Tejada was going to beat it either way. Let's see if he breaks off the mound immediately. He does. He's hustling over there. Tejada just wants it a little bit more. I don't think John Lennon ever got there.
And McCaddy is on his way to the mound. We've had a walk and a scratch hit in this inning. And home plate umpire Paul Emmel came out very early to join that discussion. Not sure if something was said to him by McCaddy on the way out there. Umpire usually doesn't approach a mound conference until a certain amount of time has gone by. He's got the little countdown going on now in his head. He'll start out there soon if the Nats don't break it up, which they now do.
What do you think they count to? Like 5 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi before they go out there? I always wonder that. Like, is it just an internal clock to where you're like, hey, this is taking too long, I'm going to go break up the rock pile?
Yeah, probably. Or if there's been some chirping from the dugout, that time flies by considerably faster.
5 alligator, and I'm going out and breaking it up.
That's over but low to Cody Ross. A couple of ground balls to the left side by Ross. 1 to third, 1 to short. And the Giants again have a runner aboard.
Definite hit and run situation, hit and run count.
John Lannon just now to the 80 pitch mark here in the 7th inning. Mike Fontenot, left-handed hitter, is next. Contact guy. And the ball's popped up right side. Ramos near the circle. He has it for the second out. Off the bat of the right-handed batter, it came twisting back nicely for him to stay out of the seats, and a big second out now, resulting in a lefty-lefty matchup.
That's a big out for John Lannon. I mean, you talk about that being his 81st pitch of the game. Cody Ross, a guy who can do some damage with one swing of the bat. Great job.
Mike Fontenot's had 2 good at-bats today, lining out to right and then singling to left. Nationals think they might be doing something with the runner here in 2 outs. Target outside corner. Lannon paints for the strike. That ball is well hit to center. Ankiel chasing it. Nats can only hope it bounces out of play, and it does. A huge break for Washington. Miguel Tejada scores easily on that ball if it hits the wall and stays in.
Well, that's just stupid hitting by Mike Fontenot. He hit it too far.
Wow.
Nats catch a break. Jerry Hairston with a fist pump as the ball bounces over the fence. That ball stays in at all. Miguel Tejada's high-fiving his teammates. Fastball up in the zone. One of the only mistakes John Lannon's made all day. Hitting the hard warning track. Bounce it in that service area back there. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Nats catch a huge break.
If they can retire Eli Whiteside, who's accounted for the only Giants run today. First time San Francisco has had 2 hits in an inning in this series since 2 singles in the 3rd last night. They're going to walk him and then go lefty-lefty with Aubrey Huff. So this may be an incentive for John Lannon to stay in the game for Jim Riggleman. Not sure you'd want a right-hander coming in to face Huff. They don't have any right-handed bats left, except for Emmanuel Burris, who's really more of a pinch runner, defensive kind of guy. So this will be very interesting.
And if you're thinking about Pablo Sandoval, we already talked about it. I mean, he's out with a broken hamate bone, so he's not available. Bruce Bochy with a short bench today. He's going through it quickly in a tie ball game. Used Nate Scherholtz, used Darren Ford, now he's using Aubrey Huff. The only guy left on his bench is Emmanuel Burris.
Aubrey Huff has not had a pinch hitting appearance this year. He's in the midst of a 3-for-31 slump. 3rd base Tejada, 2nd base Fontenot, 1st base Whiteside. Lannon trying to get to the 7th inning stretch, tied. Breaking ball misses. That's a breaking pitch that drops in, counts even. That's upstairs.
You don't want to throw too many of those in a row to Aubrey Huff. He'll sit on one and pick one out and drive it and keep him off balance. We saw last night with Huff, they had success on the inner half of the plate. He's having trouble getting to a good fastball in.
Bouncer foul evens the count. Aubrey Huff, a proven RBI man, one of the Giants' postseason heroes last year. He had 8 postseason runs batted in. And a big 2-2 pitch here. Target in. Fastball misses. All the runners will be on the move here with 2 outs.
Trying to go to that fastball in, just missed off the plate. Now all of a sudden you have the biggest pitch of the ballgame.
1-1 the score. Lannon misses up high, and the Giants, ironically with a walk, take the lead after all the walks the Nationals got in the first 2 innings. 3 walks in this inning, and John Lannon's done. One of them intentional. Hard to believe this thing is shaken out this way in the top of the 7th inning. 2-1 Giants. Nats bullpen. Aaron Rowan coming up for San Fran. Update on the Nats with all their latest coverage sent right to your mobile phone. You can text Nationals to 29292. Message and data rates may apply. So to the mound comes Tyler Clippard. It'll be his 13th appearance, tying him with Drew Storen for the staff lead. 16 innings, 11 hits, 18 strikeouts in his first 2 big league seasons, averaging 10 and 11.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. And he's up to that old trick again. Tough hitter, though. Aaron Rowan is swinging the bat well, 3 for 7 in this series. Giants have the bases loaded. They've walked in a run, and they lead 2-1.
Well, if you can wiggle out of this, only giving up 1 run, Mike Fontenot, hit that ball deep into the gap. The Nats caught a break. It was unfortunate that Lannon walked off, but if you do a little damage control right now, get out of this with just giving up the 1 run, you're okay.
He gets Rowan to pop it up. Danny Espinosa under it. Worth behind him to help if needed. And the Nats are out of the inning. Could have been worse. 7th inning stretch time. The Giants now lead 2-1. For the first time in this series, Nats have shut them down, but Washington unable to get the big hit today. Bottom 7 coming up, top of the order. 1:30 tomorrow. Matt Cain and Jordan Zimmerman, two of the most talented young right-handers in the league. Matt Cain's career record 59-63, 4-3 against the Nats, and Jordan Zimmerman trying to win his 6th career game. Nats Extra, 1 o'clock tomorrow. We join you from the booth at 1:30. First pitch, 1:35. And that's not the end of the series. The Giants will be here and play a game Monday night. The left-hander, Jeremy Affeldt, one of their 3 southpaws.
2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball. He'll run it up there about 95 miles an hour. He's got a curve and a split to go with it. So this is where the Nationals have to answer. They gave up a run. Now you got to come back and find a way to score.
Darren Ford stays in the ball game to play center field. And that moves Aaron Rowand over to left after Ford ran for Pat Burrell. A lot of baseball yet to be played here. Top of the order. Danny Espinosa has been on twice today, 0 for 1 with a fly ball, but he's been walked and hit by a pitch. Two quick strikes. Rick Ankiel, 2 for 3 today, has the only Nationals hits. And the left-hander makes quick work of Espinosa. That's only RBI came in the 2nd inning.
Oh, you're talking about the lefty killer, Rick Ankiel? I mean, he's having great at-bats against left-handers all season long. He struggled a little bit against righties, but his swing against the left-hander has been fantastic. He's the only guy to check in so far today for the Nats.
Tell you, Affeldt, he works quickly. Comes out of the bullpen, gets the ball, he's ready. Look at Ankiel, 320 against lefties, 3 of his 7 RBIs. I thought he'd be hungry on 2-0, but he hits a 1 bouncer. Back to the pitcher, 2 outs. The Nationals have 1 hit since the 2nd inning and only 2 today. They're 1 out of 8 with runners in scoring position. Worth right side. Jason 0 for 2. Costly strikeout in the second. The bases loaded, 1 out. Ground ball in the 5th. The walk back in the 1st when the ballpark was walking around. It was really something.
He's had some big at-bats today. You talk about his at-bat in the 2nd inning where he K'd. Then he had a leadoff double by Rick Ankiel and couldn't get him over. So he's been in a couple big situations at the plate today and hasn't come through.
Three and 1.
And this is where you'd like to see him just let the throttle out. You're heading the count 3-1. You're down by 1 run. Go ahead and take a shot. Let it rip.
Pitch up high. He's aboard with 2 outs. And that'll bring in Adam LaRoche, who needs a base hit in the worst way. If you'd like to take the Nats with you wherever you go this season, it's MLB.tv. Every game live or on demand on your handheld device or your computer. Visit Nationals.com to order. Lots of details available. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Adam LaRoche does not have a hit on this homestand. His last hit, a 2-run single Monday night in Pittsburgh. He did have the bloop double against the Mets. That ball's played well up the middle by the shortstop Fontenot. And the Nats are frustrated again. 9 runners stranded today. On to the 8th inning.
Had a nice start, and he got some good defense behind him. Throwing a lot of strikes, working fast. You see Ian Desmond right here getting rid of the ball. And a nice pick by Adam LaRoche. And John Lanham, this is how you do a rundown. Run right at the runner. Getting Buster Posey out and then getting Pat Burrell on the backside. You want to see a good throw to second base. Watch the footwork by Wilson Ramos. The throw is right on the money. Nice job by Danny Espinosa, hanging tough. So the Nats have played good defense today. They just haven't had anything to show on the offensive side. They had 8 free base runners the first 2 innings and couldn't cash in.
Tyler Clippard against Freddie Sanchez, top of the 8th. That was a big out Clippard got, popping up Aaron Rowan to end the 7th with the bases loaded. And that ball is popped out into left for Michael Morse. Right now, FP, is Brian Wilson pitching well enough that you would say it's an 8-inning game when you face the Giants? Or is he still feeling his way? Sergio Romo to set up for Wilson if the score stays like this.
You know, he's not as automatic as he's been in the past, but he's such an established closer. He's so good at what he does that you think the game is over. But, you know, he hasn't thrown a lot of strikes this year. His velocity's been down a little bit. So we'll see. Keep it right there. You got a chance.
Fastball inside to Posey. 1 for 3 with a double. And Buster Posey's bat starting to come alive. He's hit the ball hard 3 times today. And a base hit to left. Is the Giants' 7th hit of the day.
Yeah, they came into this game hitting .217 on this road trip, 22 for 102. So breaking out a little bit today. Buster Posey feeling it at the plate.
First at bat now for Darren Ford, who came on to pinch run and was promptly thrown out at second by Wilson Ramos. Darren Ford is from Vineland, New Jersey. Giants got him in a trade with Milwaukee back in July of 2008 involving Ray Durham. 7 games, 1 run, couple of steals for the Giants when he came up in 2010. It was a September call-up after hitting .251 at AA. 288 minor league stolen bases coming into this season. Clippard up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Miguel Tejada in the number 5 spot today. Crowd having fun, 28,766 on a gorgeous Saturday. When your team has 2 hits, you create your own fun. That's what the crowd's doing right now.
It's been a great atmosphere at the ballpark all day. Great crowd. Been a buzz since the first inning. Where else would you rather be?
High fastball. Swung on and missed, and Ramos had Posey diving back into first. Giants have seen enough of this guy's arm right now.
Buster Posey's like, what did I do to deserve this? A throw over, now you're trying to pick me off? Guys, Darren Ford's in the box. Is that I'm first? I'm not Darren Ford, I'm the catcher.
Well, maybe this leadoff he's taking will convince him. It's about 5 feet. Line drive over the glove of Espinosa. Ford gets a base hit. 2 on, 1 out. That's right. It's his first big league hit because last year he played in 7 games, mostly as a pinch runner.
I mean, I guess that's our Ford drive of the game. Why not? It's his first big league hit. Darren Ford, congratulations. That's a ball that'll be on your mantle the rest of your life.
Pitch track from Convergence Technology and Citrix, experts in desktop virtualization, helping companies achieve efficiency and cost reduction. 301-860-1960 or visit convergencetech.us. Slow roller by Tejada. 1 play for Desmond, first base, 2 outs. Cody Ross now. This is a must out, a must 0 on the board in the top of the 8th.
You got Fontenot on deck with a single and a double in the game, so all of a sudden the hot-hitting Mike Fontenot protecting Cody Ross.
Doug Slayton joining Henry Rodriguez, who we haven't seen yet.
Good pitch right there. 12-6 curveball from Tyler Clippard. The bottom dropped out of it. That's when you throw for a strike a lot of times at an 0-2 count. I know you got a runner on third base, but you can bounce the next one. Now Cody Ross has to protect against this pitch. You've established it for a strike for the second strike. Now you can expand the strike zone ahead 0-2 right here. Maybe bounce one and have confidence that Wilson Ramos will block it, or you can go fastball up in his eyes.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Going in.
Yeah, he buried the fastball in there.
See, that's a good 0-2 pitch right there. Anytime you make a hitter move his feet, put his hands in the air, you've accomplished something. You've changed his eye line. You've made him feel the fastball. Now that opens up a lot of other stuff. You go curveball away, you can throw a changeup, or you can double up and go fastball in. So that's a pitch that served a purpose. See if he can make it work for him.
Throws him the breaking ball, and it gets a pop-up out to short center for Rick Ankiel. Clippard, a big 0 in the 8th, and now 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Nats. Desmond. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. New pitcher will be Sergio Romo for the Giants, 28-year-old right-hander. 68 games for them last year with a 2.18 ERA. Sometimes you don't hear a whole lot about the setup guys, do you?
Now, sinker, slider, change. The slider's his pitch. It's a big sweeping frisbee that'll feature against right-handers. He's added a changeup to his repertoire late last season, so pretty much fastball, slider.
By the way, a note on the Nationals offense. Ramos, Morse, and Desmond trying to get something going here in the 8th. In the first 2 games of this series, the first 4 hitters in the lineup, Espinosa, Ankiel, Worth, and LaRoche, are 2 for 25. Both hits today from Rick Ankiel. So you look for some other spots in the order to help. Left-hander Javier Lopez. And he's a former UVA Cavalier. Ramos off to the right side. Wilson 0 for 1 today with a walk in the first and then a 9-pitch at bat for a walk in the 5th.
They got Javi Lopez up for maybe Nix coming off the bench somewhere in this sequence. They're down by 1 run. You got to figure Lance Nix is going to get an at bat somewhere in here.
No, that's probably why they got that lefty warming up. Ramos waves at it and strikes out.
Yeah, that's a tough at bat for Wilson Ramos. If you've never faced Sergio Romo before, he's got the big sweeping frisbee that he throws with 2 strikes. Check it out. Now here's the check swing. Did he go? Absolutely.
Yep. Here comes Nix, and we'll see if here comes Lopez for the Giants. Hard to believe they would let a right-hander pitch against this guy the way he's been hitting, but Romo has nasty stuff.
Hey,
Lance Nix is 10 for his last 27.
Yeah, with a monster tater off Tim Lincecum last night. And that wasn't the ball that everyone was talking about. It was the one that he hit foul that almost knocked down the stadium. I talked to a lot of the Nationals in the clubhouse the day before the game, and they said the foul ball that Lance Nix hit last night was probably one of the hardest hit balls they've ever seen.
That's it for Romo. Javier Lopez from Robinson High School in Fairfax will be next against Lance Nix. More on that in a moment. First of all, tomorrow's pitching matchup, Matt Cain. 4-3 career against the Nationals with an ERA of 3.41 in 9 starts. And then Jordan Zimmerman with a record of 1-4. At times has thrown well, at times has been very hittable. And he's 0-2 career against the Giants. Javier Lopez, local guy from Fairfax. 12-9 at UVA in 40 games, 31 starts. He was also a good hitter there. Hit .319 with 71 RBIs as a Wahoo.
And Brian Bixler, good take right there. Anytime you face a guy that throws 3/4 submarine guy, you want to find his release point on the first take. You want to see the ball out of his hand to see where he's throwing it from. Then you go to work.
Bixler takes a sidearm pitch for a strike. Everybody talks about the Giants starters and Brian Wilson. Not sure their other guys get enough credit for what they do.
Now, Javi Lopez, I mean, he solidified the bullpen last year when they got him. They needed a lefty specialist. He came in and got the job done in some big games.
Bixler hits that ball pretty well to right center. It'll stay in the park, and it's caught by Ford. 2 outs. Ramon Ramirez Looks like a lot of mixing and matching, and Bruce Bochy could be on his way to the mound again. Nats only have one more right-handed batter, and that's Pudge Rodriguez. Desmond 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. And no pitching change appears to be imminent. Desmond out to left center. It'll be run down, though, by Rowand. And the Nats go quickly in the 8th. 9th inning coming up. Giants 2, Nationals 1. Defensive changes. And we'll tell you about the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6:30. Live interviews, BP look-ins, roundtable, and lots more with Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, and Mel Antonin. Maximum access to the Nats and some of the teams the Nats play, like Debbie Taylor chatting with Giants manager Bruce Bochy coming off a World Series championship. We like to hear the perspective from the other side of the diamond at times, and Debbie will provide that with us on Monday. Nationals with some changes here. Jerry Hairston goes from third base to left field after the Nats hit for Michael Morse. Ryan Bixler, who was the final pinch hitter in that sequence, stays in to play third, and here he is, the man you've heard so much about, 24-year-old Henry Rodriguez. 29 games with Oakland. He came over with outfielder Corey Brown in the Josh Willingham deal, and get ready for some smoke. 99 low and inside.
I mean, he could touch 103. So we always say with Livan Hernandez, turn off the gun. Check out the gun with this guy.
On a pitch up, it's lined into right. He just overpowered Mike Fontenot, 1 out. Fourth drive of the game has to be the home run back in the third by Eli Whiteside. FP, you just had a feeling the Nats were going to take a lead in this game. They were up 1-0 when this guy tied it up. 7th career homer.
Yeah, he's got a little pop in his bat, and you see right there. Fastball in, he drops the head on it, gives it the bat flip. Probably the only mistake John Landon made all day.
Hard to hit, hard to catch.
If I threw 100, my first pitch every time would be inside to somebody. I would let them feel my 100 miles an hour and then go away after that.
That is quick. Madison Bumgarner. The only player they have left that I have on my list is Emmanuel Burris. Tight game. They may want to save him. Bumgarner is 2 for 8 this year with the bat. Giants starter.
Oh, he can hit. I don't know if he can hit 100, but he can definitely rake. One of the better hitting pitchers in the National League. He's got a good swing.
As FP mentioned, Giants bench short because of Pablo Sandoval's trip to the DL. So the young man out of Woodrow Wilson High School, Emmanuel Burris, the only remaining Giant as far as position players. 3-2. Rodriguez last year, as I mentioned, with Oakland, 29 games, 4.55 ERA, 33 strikeouts in 28 innings, 13 walks. Wow. 101. Isn't 101 a highway in California?
It is.
Strikeout number 1.
The 101 south for Eli Whiteside. He's going back to the dugout after swinging through 101 mile an hour fastball. Look at this. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time to react as a hitter. This is one of those times where you have to pretty much bet on it's a strike and swing. Predetermine you're going to swing, because when it's over 100, it gets on you in a hurry.
Madison Bumgarner, the pinch hitter from the Giants pitching staff. As mentioned, he's 2 for 8 this year. And in his career, he is 9 for 49.
Hear the buzz in the crowd. See him triple digits on the scoreboard.
Nasty breaking ball.
And if he could ever get that pitch
on that.
Excuse me, partner. If he could ever get that pitch over for a strike, I mean, you have none chance as a hitter. 100 miles an hour, he establishes that in the strike zone, and he breaks out that nasty slider. You got no chance. But you have to throw it for a strike. Guys can turn around 100.
Bumgarner gets a piece of it. His fellow starters will congratulate him for that.
No, he can hit. I mean, you should see him take batting practice every day. He puts on a display. He's got a tremendous amount of pop. He got a good swing. Bruce Bochy uses him from time to time as a pinch hitter. He's that good.
That's nasty. Just what FP said. He gets that over. Forget it. The Nats down to their final 3 outs in a 2-1 game.
Johnny Holiday and Phil Wood set to bring you Nats Extra postgame coming up. Nats quiet today, Phil.
It's incredible, Johnny. They had ample opportunity in the first 2 innings. They had 5 walks, 2 hit batters, and could only manage 1 run against a very wild Jonathan Sanchez. And offensively, again, they've fallen back into that pit.
And they had some opportunities early in the ball game and couldn't get Sanchez out of there. So let's see what can happen here in the bottom of the 9th. Let's send it right back up to Bob and to FP.
Thank you, gentlemen. Brian Wilson, 2 saves in the division series last year. 3 in the LCS, another in the World Series. After he led the league with 48 during the regular season, he registered number 23 of those 48 against the Nationals last July.
Yeah, fastball 90 to 97. He'll sink it, he'll cut it. He's got a slider to go with it. He's allowed 3 runs twice this season. He didn't allow 3 runs in any appearance all last year, so not as automatic as he was in 2010.
Let's see if the Nationals fear the beard here. Hairston. And then Matt Stairs. Not too worried about that guy. Guy on the mound that's really scary. Matt Stairs on deck to hit 4. Henry Rodriguez. And then the top of the order with Danny Espinosa. That's right in there.
I mean, the Giants are going to the White House in July, and the only way Brian Wilson gets into the White House is with a stovepipe hat. I mean, how are you going to let that guy close to the president? That's the first time I've seen him in about 6 months the other day, and he had his sunglasses on in batting practice. That was a scary-looking individual.
Hairston on a breaking ball that he probably thought was a fastball till the last moment. Late breaking slider right there. Jerry Hairston today a walk. He's 0 for 2. Nationals have 2 hits on the day, both by Ankiel. 1 hit since the 2nd inning. And that bender outside, 2-2. Well, a save per appearance. He came to the big leagues in 06. 127 saves the last 3 seasons coming into this one. Hairston late for a fastball. Short right field, Cody Ross. This will be a good matchup. The Nats hope Stairs and Wilson. Matt Stairs, a good fastball hitter. Potomac Nationals defending their Carolina League championship down at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge. 703-590-2311 for ticket information or PotomacNationals.com. Matt Stairs still looking for his first Washington hit. As a pinch hitter, he's 0 for 10. He has struck out 5 times and walked 4.
And he's on the plate. He's looking for something to pull. Brian Wilson in these situations generally will stay away from left-handed hitters.
Thus the fastball outside, 2-0. Staying outside, ball 3. Does Matt Stairs have the green light on 3-0 in a 1-run game?
Absolutely. He's up there for one thing. Let it fly. Absolutely. Get something middle in, middle. Let it fly. Try to tie this ball game up with one swing. Why not?
Fastball tailing away. He really turned that thing over, and it was mid to high 90s.
97 with sink.
Wow. Does Matt Stairs get another fastball? Yes, and he takes the walk. That'll bring up Danny Espinosa. Alex Cora will run for Matt Stairs.
You can run on Brian Wilson. Alex Cora, not the fastest guy in the world, but Brian Wilson, very deliberate, very slow to the plate. He usually doesn't care about base runners, concentrating on the hitter.
Danny Espinosa 0 for 2 today. Walk and hit by a pitch. Could be a double play. Espinosa beats it out, and the Nationals are still alive. It took a runner like him from the left side of the batter's box to just get to first base.
And that's huge, hustling down the line in a one-run game. And now if you're Danny Espinosa, maybe you think about stealing second base. You got a base runner out there. It's a good trade for the Nationals. Danny Espinosa much faster than Alex Cora. You got to find a way to get in scoring position. Good slide by Alex Cora right here, breaking up the double play. It's how you take somebody out. Go get them, keep the game going.
Rick Ankiel 2 for 4 today. By the way, the catcher Eli Whiteside has only been behind the plate for 2 attempted steals by opposing teams. He's 1 for 2 throwing out runners. Ankiel takes one low. And here's another hitter who loves the fastball.
Well, this is where if you're Rick Ankiel, you can ruin somebody's day with one swing of the bat.
And Wilson stays away 2-0. I don't think anybody in this ballpark wearing red would mind a Wilson-Worth matchup.
Battle of the Beards.
Three 3-0 to Ankiel. He was ripping.
He got a pitch right down the middle, just a little bit late. Wilson went with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Ankiel couldn't get the head out.
Popped him up. Over by the dugout. It's gone. First row. Now a 3-2 pitch will enable Danny Espinosa, in case there's a ball down the line or a gapper, to get a head start at first base. Giants playing deep. Two on with another walk. The Nationals have been given 9 walks today. It'll bring up Jason Worth.
Well, this is the most electric I've seen this ballpark since I've been a part of this. When we talk about Jason Worth and maybe his April struggles, it can make a lot of people forget about his batting average with a base hit right here.
On the last day of April. Worth 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Tailing inside, ball 1. And it hits him, loading the bases. That's also, along with the 9 walks, the 3rd Nationals batter hit today. No chance to get out of that way. Now it's Adam LaRoche, who is 1 for his last 19.
I mean, how many free base runners have the Giants given the Nationals today?
Well, you told me earlier this year, if you walk 9 guys, you don't win in the major leagues. We shall see. That's high.
9 guys, partner, and 3 hit by pitches, 12 free base runners.
Ryan Wilson has put himself into a position where a single beats him if it gets into the outfield. 2-1 Giants. Espinosa and Ankiel, the 2 runners that matter. That's a nasty breaking ball that just got under Adams' hands as he took that swing. 2-2. Ball 3.
Is this any good?
I'll tell you in one more pitch. Runners about to move, everybody on their feet. And Wilson strikes out LaRoche on a high slider.